It has been already almost 3 months that I made the videos about Dolfinos and other shoulder-based systems, and I was waiting to make this review about the Dolfinos because I wanted to try really on a concert schedule and play a couple of concerts on it, so I can explain you a little bit more in detail how was my experience. And also in March I broke my toe, so it was quite a slow down period, and I couldn't really practice stand for almost 2 months. But I think it was worth it to wait, as last week I performed many concerts at the Filmfestival Schloss Bruneck, a great chamber music festival in Switzerland, where I had the chance to premiere a lot of pieces, play for the first time also chamber music masterworks, quite intensive one, and my schedule was more than 12 hours a day of violin playing between concert rehearsals and personal practice. So the second day was quite hard for the body. I had a lot of tension in my back, but then somehow I adapted to this crazy rhythm. And after the last concert, actually I was ready to go on, and suddenly everything was finished. So it was a bit sad. And now I find a lot of free time and the time of doing this video. First things, I paid the full price of this shoulder rest system. So it's not an advertisement, it's not something strange as we used to see a lot on the web, but it's a really honest review. And why I do that? Because I was so long searching for a good solution for my back. I have a very thin upper body, and that brings me a lot of problem with shoulder rest. They are too hard, or not very much elastic, or difficult to set. And this system, it's for me, it's the greatest one that I tried so far. So on the website there are different models: the carbon edition, the limited air edition, and the pure edition. And I bought, because this is important, I bought the limited air edition LA model with a standard violin adapter, which is this one, and this model of chinrest, which is a central one but quite long, and it's called Berlin, and it's made by wood. So it's what I was searching, and it exists in several, I think in 2 high, and I took the higher one. So I don't need to put it higher, but I could if I want. But I still have some space to play with. What I found very useful was to visit the shop of Dolfinos, which is not far from Zurich in Switzerland, because I could not really judge which model would fit me. And they were so nice and open to let me try all the models, the chinrest, all the combinations possible. So we spent an hour, about an hour, and it was very clear that this model was the best for me, compared with the carbon model, which is the one I tried back in March or February. This is a little bit more solid. They tell also it's a little bit more resistant, and but it's still very light. I like this model because the other one, not the carbon but the steel metal, it went too much on this muscle here. It curved too much. So then they realized this model, which is a little bit more, I mean, not little bit, definitely flatter, and this fits my body perfectly. The shoulder rest, it's really fantastic. Okay, it's not as beautiful as the one I had before, but I mean, yeah, it has it is, but it still fits also the violin style very well. It's my baby. And I like the color. I like that it's central but still not so boomy here. So the mountain here, it's quite soft, and that it goes so I have this space to really move around if I have to stretch my neck, and I found it super useful. I could also put higher the chin rest if I want. I show you, but I personally don't need with the higher model of the Berlin. But for example, so I could just fix it like this. It would stay in every high I wanted. But yes, for me, I just don't need it. I mean, if I would play without shoulder rest, I probably would put it higher. But with the shoulder rest, I put it the lower possible, and it fits me perfectly. I show you now the position. So this is the set. I would put not higher as this, but you can, I mean, if you want. The thing that if you put it higher, the violin will go up this way. It will not go up this way. And this is one thing that I found very much fascinating, because it will, even if you put it higher and higher, he will keep the contact of your bones here, which means he will simulate still the contact with the body as if you would play without shoulder rest. But yes, it's not my goal to play like with the violin so high. So for me, this is the best. I feel very much supported, but uh, but uh, but quite free. What I like also a lot, it's the feeling of my shoulder. With other shoulder rest, especially with the big one like the Bon Musica, um, I don't know, it's personal, but I could really felt the rigidity of it, and somehow didn't help me to relax my muscle and to really make the muscle works independently. So which muscle I need for this kind of playing, which is in this kind of passage, and which one I can just release and relax. And with the other shoulder rest, I felt that everything was like a block. What I like about this one is that the feeling here, exactly from here until here, I don't know if you can see, it's huge. And it's totally free. It makes me free also all this part. And this is for me life-changing. I could really feel the difference of having this shoulder-free feeling. Another thing that I really like is the angle of the violin, because as it keeps the contact with the body here, it will also keep the violin very much horizontal. It's really fantastic for violinists, because help the performer to not close you like this, to not close the position like this, but to keep it really open and generous, and to project the sound, especially as a tall person. Very often if we play, even sit, but if we play stand chamber music, or even double concertos, or even alone, and you have an orchestra or chamber orchestra around, sometimes as tall people, we are a bit, we don't embrace always the space we own. And if we have the tendency of closing our position to make us a little bit more comfortable about the people around, then it doesn't help if also the violin goes a bit into this direction. To have the violin really flat as much as we can. Of course, I can always lift my shoulder and do whatever I want, but it will remind me always, hey, I'm here, I want to be flat and open, and yes, to really enjoy the space, embrace the space, and enjoy this opening of playing for others. I'm always a bit careful of putting it out and in and out, because it makes clack, clack, clack. And of course, the back of my violin, it's a piece of art. I mean, it's I don't want to scratch it, so I always have to concentrate a lot and be extra careful that I'm doing the right movement. But so far, everything was perfect, and all went fine. So I really would recommend this system. I know that it costs a lot of money. If I have to be sincere, it's a really expensive tool. So what I paid, it's around 1,300, I think, with the chinrest and everything. Swiss francs. And of course, compared to a 200 or even a 400 euros shoulder rest, it's a lot. On the other side, I have to say I'm independent artist, so I can deduct it as a professional tool. I also know that someone in Germany could have refund from the Krankenkasse, so from the health insurance, because it's a tool that prevents injuries actually in your back, in your muscles. So it's something you would pay a lot, but you would also benefit from it a lot. And maybe long term, it's a great investment. So I'm really happy to experience even more now in the summer festivals and concerts, playing the violin with this system, and I will keep you updated about my adventures. Please let me know if you have any questions. In any case, I would really suggest you, if you are interested in this system, to find a shop to try it before buying, because it's expensive, and but not only, it's also, for me, it's difficult to judge which model will fit you, both chin rest and shoulder rest. So if you can just book an appointment, try out the things. If you can bring another person that can hear you from outside concerning the sound, and your position also, that can also observe you 360 degrees around. And yes, so I'm looking forward to read about your trials if you go for it. So good luck and have a safe practice.